Saturday, September 5th, 2020. What else is there to write for other than readers? The current time in Jakarta, 1:14 p.m., in Tallinn, 9:15 a.m., in Washington, D.C., 2:16 a.m., and in Salt Lake City, 12:16 a.m. Here are the latest numbers from Worldometer. 27,069,800 people have been infected around the globe with COVID-19. 883,780 have died from the disease. 19,170,886 have recovered, a 4% death rate. The rest are open cases awaiting an outcome. This newsletter is from the newsroom for the pandemic. As you can see, there's a slight increase in total cases per week. We were at 1.5 million a week for a while. This week we almost hit 2 million cases, with that last million happening fast to close the week. Yet the death rate percentage keeps going down. The cynical side says the healthcare industry is booming. Hemp, not so much. However, there is progress being made with CBD as a food supplement. There's a bipartisan effort to pass legislation as early as this year that would create a guideline to sell CBD as a dietary aid in food available everywhere. Of course, people want hemp for paper and plastic, like my old company from A to Z keeps pushing forward. But, the biggest and fastest profits are in the food industry with CBD. We're talking billions of dollars. Case in point, the election is less than 2 months away. The United States has been forced to adopt a policy of herd immunity because we've lost containment. We also must stay active to keep the economy rolling. We can all buy masks that people wearing masks make. The market shifts towards the times. We are willing to sacrifice almost 2 million Americans to establish herd immunity. This decision has already been made and cannot change now. No matter who wins the election this year, because, for example, policy changes by a new Biden administration would not go into effect for at least a year. Plus, children are going back to school. This could go either way. And there is a rare disease called Miss C that's related to COVID-19, only it attacks children. This last thing about Miss C could be the game changer for CBD. CBD is known as an anti-inflammatory medication. Miss C inflames vital organs of children, causing death. Parents don't want to give their children hemp flower to smoke, yet their children might be able to buy CBD at a health food store. Case in point, the presidential candidates are not monsters. They won't throw in with hemp without research the medical industry approves of, even with bias against hemp still in place. It could take a long time for it to gain acceptance. Yet, as we've seen, the FDA is now ready to approve medication to help with COVID-19 that have not completed standard clinical trials. These medications could actually have deadly side effects. Where CBD has been in use for thousands of years and with no proven deadly side effects. In fact, most people that go this route seem to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit. So while the government refuses to acknowledge that in public, in private, they are willing to give us the tools we need to live, because this pandemic is not over, and a vaccine is not a guarantee. This is Darwin in the pandemic. If the hemp people are right, they can emerge from the pandemic even without a vaccine as stronger, healthier people. They are being given the opportunity to prove it with their faith, instead of having someone else decide for them with the removal of the substance punishable by law. You can see the effects on the violent side of protests, as those protesters have become thugs in the night instead of the flower children of yesteryear. The flower child stays home using their legal CBD to keep them strong, while the violent alcohol drug-induced riots coincide with bars being closed. What about the rest of us? Well, they could create a vaccine, only no one wants to take it. We push along, and if you are against CBD, you don't have to buy it with your sugar-fueled diet. Just go through the drive-thru and get a hamburger or whatever. If you see the pandemic as a manifestation of the changes in society and our environment, then you see where this is coming from. We like to be isolated on our cell phones, doing our own thing, while chemicals in various forms, from garbage waste to CO2 exhaust, are expelled into Earth's natural environment. The hemp industry rewards stewards of Earth's soil with a paycheck. This gift from the Earth can maintain your connection to this realm we are comfortable with. Otherwise, you could be put out into the dark vacuum of space while black holes develop in your bones. The coronavirus changing your DNA until you're able to feed off toxic waste and radiation. Yes, now is the time to ensure access to CBD, to ensure the best chance of survivability to the species. Is this an exaggeration? We'll find out in 10 years if we're all still wearing masks.